Does racism still exist?
Yes.
Why do you say yes?
Because in a world like this, we're always going to find ways to hate something else. And at the moment, racism still exists because there are people from different, like there is always a difference, you will look different to someone else and you will be discriminated against for looking like someone else. And all the history of racism hasn't just stopped. It's manifested in more subtle ways, in more systematic ways that are maybe are not as explicit as they used to be, but they're still very obvious.
So do you think diversity doesn't work then?
I think diversity does work, but unfortunately it's being used for the wrong reasons. It's being used to fill quotas, it's being used to take the blames off yourself, it's being used to cover up horrible things that are happening. You could have a company that is diverse with a lot of employees, but that company itself is benefiting from the exploitation of countries somewhere else to boost its income and its profit. But it's like, oh, we have a diverse working community, but let's not talk about how I'm avoiding paying tax by perpetuating the abuse in Congo for my electronics that I'm selling. Apple might employ hella black people, hella Asian people, but these same black people are getting exploited in another country just secretly.
What do you think is keeping racism alive?
Rich people.
Elaborate on that.
The elite, they benefit off dividing and conquering. They benefit off making us hate each other because then we won't work together to basically come together as people. They're making working class people hate immigrants so that we can't work together. But at the same time, working class people are in the same boat as us. They're being thrown under the bus just as much. So if we all hate each other, we're never going to come together.
Yeah, of course. Can black people be racist?
No, they can discriminate, but racism, the definition of racism has to come with a history of oppression. White people have never had a history of oppression from black people. So a black person can discriminate against a white person, but they can't be racist because racism comes from a whole race being oppressed throughout history.
Final question I'll ask you. When we talk about racism, we always tend to go to like what England and America have done and things like just white racism. Why do you think that is?
Because they are the ones that have created a massive history and a mass, exploitation. Like they are behind the biggest historical aspects of racism. Other countries, like where I come from, there's colorism. In Egypt there's colorism. The darker you are, the less beautiful you are. But this colorism is perpetuated by a history of colonialism because, people from the West had come to these countries and told them white people are superior, white people are the most beautiful. And that has gone through generations to make us believe that, being white is the most beautiful, is the most powerful thing to be or have.